Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday check-in session, a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. My name is Priscilla, and today I'm dialing in from sunny Nantian Temple. If you are a new member to the community, please accept our wholehearted welcome. And if you have any questions about our practices and topics, we're all here to help. And if you're a regular, a big welcome back. It is customary in Australia to begin any meeting by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we walk, study, and reside, the Wodi people of the Dharawal Nation. And I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I also pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Communities of Practice team and the entire community. These sessions aim to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to cultivate our practices and build memorable friendships. Today, for her last formal session of 2023, we've invited our mentor, Venerable Juewei, to present. And it's my delight to present Venerable, who is giving us a talk today on Priceless Practice. Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. My dear friends, we have arrived onto the last month of 2023. Whether you believe it or not, we have all arrived into this safe space where we can practice together. Let us share a few moments. First, to check in. Let us settle into a comfortable, relaxed position. Sit or stand with your back straight, but not stiff. Next, gently close your eyes. Checking in allows us to develop a practice of pausing, especially when we are busy, excited, or anxious. Instead of allowing the external conditions to trigger automatic responses in us, we can pause and turn our attention inwards. Let's begin by focusing on our breath. Take a deep breath in and release. Continue taking several deep breaths to allow our mind to clear itself of any unnecessary thoughts. Now breathe naturally and simply observe the sensation of the breath as it enters, nourishes, and leaves our body. Be fully present for each precious breath. Thank you, my friends, for the opportunity to practice together in this safe space. Gently bring your awareness back to this check-in session. And when ready, feel free to open your eyes to greet one another's pixelated image on screen with your precious presence. That is all to the practice of checking in. Simply stopping any automatic response to external triggers and instead turning to our breath to calm ourselves before returning to the conditions, but with a greater sense of presence. This will allow us to draw on a wider range of resources that already exist inside us. Today's topic is on practice, the fourth of the Bodhisattva values that NTI has adopted as our core values. The first three that we have covered earlier this year are compassion, wisdom, and committed service. So what is practice? In Chinese, practice stands for two characters, Hsing, which means correcting our actions. In Buddhism, it is reinforcing what is wholesome according to the Buddhist Dharma and weakening what is unwholesome. Today, I wish to introduce you to something that I personally have found useful. And those are the teachings of Bodhidharma, a 5th or 6th century Buddhist sage who was reputed to have taught Buddhist meditation that eventually evolved into what is known as Chan in China today. Bodhidharma taught that one can enter the way by practice, Hsing Ru. This entrance entails 4 essential practices that encompass everything else. These 4 practices can be seen to mirror the 4 noble truths. The first practice is enduring the suffering that results from our past actions. This includes injustices and difficult times. I'm sure that we all feel the many crises that humanity is now facing, from climate change to terrifying wars. Bodhidharma says to see them as unwholesome karma of the past bearing fruit. And do remember that this karma may not be just yours. In fact, most of the time, it is collective karma maturing. The second practice of acting according to the conditions follows from our recognition of karma in the first practice. Know that we do not operate in a vacuum. Good conditions or bad conditions will come and go. Thanks to impermanence, one should remain unmoved by external gains and losses, whether they are at an individual or a systemic level. But instead, we should remain steadfast in accordance with the way. The third practice is non-seeking or non-craving. Most people are always seeking pleasure and fame. Practitioners seeking the way know that phenomena are empty and that calamity alternates with prosperity. Hence, there's no need to seek pleasure and fame for the self. And this is where we go to the fourth practice, which is the practice of the Dharma. Such practice is to train ourselves in the truth of emptiness, away from craving, or seeing our narratives as centering on ourselves. Instead, practitioners will focus, like the Bodhisattva, on benefiting others. So from here, we can see the 4 practices cohering with the 4 noble truths. The first truth of suffering, to be able to endure suffering, we need to understand the principles behind collective karma. Then, in terms of understanding causes and conditions and acting in accordance with causes and conditions, knowing that they are impermanent. And therefore, the third noble truth of nirvana, can come about when we are non-seeking. That attitude of non-seeking, especially for anything that's beneficial to myself. And the fourth truth is the practice itself. And that practice is based on the truth of emptiness, and therefore constantly decentering our narratives from the self-centeredness onto benefiting others, like a bodhisattva. So a more accessible version of Bodhidharma's fourth truth, to me, his fourth practice, is Venerable Master Hsing Yun's Song of the 10 Practices. And it goes like this. The first practice is not to argue with others. The second practice, not to compare yourself with others. The third is to deal with everything politely. The fourth, to smile when seeing everyone. The fifth, never to be bothered by disadvantages. The sixth is to treat others with tolerance. The seventh, to let go of worries. The eighth, to speak good words. The ninth, to make friends with good people. And the 10th, to recognize that everyone can be Buddha. And if we can do these 10 practices, we'll live in a joyful Pure Land. And knowing Bodhidharma's 4 practices really helps me to ground these 10 practices of the Venerable Master. So if we think of practice as embodying the Dharma, it means putting theory into practice. These check-in sessions give us an opportunity to listen to one another's insights, contemplate with one another in breakout rooms and in the plenary sessions to come, and then practice them in the weeks ahead. We hope that the mid-week reflections also serve as reminders to verify what we have learned. And as such reflective and contemplative practices that I hope create space for you to draw on more resources within yourselves to deal with external conditions. Then we return on Sunday again to repeat the cycle of listen, contemplate, practice, verify. Correcting our actions or practice is an active verb. It involves continuously trying out the Dharma and verifying its effectiveness again and again. And with that, I invite you to continue the contemplation in breakout rooms. And let's start with the first noble truth of suffering. Recall any difficult situation that you faced in 2023. How did you view the situation? How does Bodhidharma's first practice of seeing the situation as past collective karma bearing fruit change your view? And on Bodhidharma's fourth practice, did any of our 2023 episodes resonate with your situation? Or perhaps the Venerable Master's Song of 10 Practices? With that, I hand over back to Priscilla. Back to you.
Thank you, Venerable Juewei. Now we'll be placed in groups of 3 to 4 to share and discuss those questions that Venerable just mentioned. So in the discussion, we recommend you spend some time getting to know each other and then discussing the questions. There will be some Zoom notifications to guide you, but feel free to let the flow of your discussions guide you also. Our sessions are guided by metta, which is unconditional love and kindness for all sentient beings. So let's use these breakout sessions to express and receive loving kindness to and from one another. Take time to pause, to share and listen. We'll also ask you to share some of your findings with a larger group at the end of the breakout discussion. But for now, let's go to the breakout rooms. I'll see you all back in 15 minutes.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. So please feel free to post any insights that you have received from your breakout sessions into the chat so that our poster team can then take those on to everyone else and post them midweek. I see that there's a lesson learned of remorse with awareness or a purified mind, using perception to change the way we live our lives. And certainly to treat everyone with kindness and compassion. And that can change the course of our life from a mundane path to a spiritual path. So thank you. That I would imagine it's Lai Qian. Thank you for your reminder of practice. And I would now, since it's past 11:30, hand back to Priscilla.
Thank you, Venerable Juewei. We really hope the check-in session was helpful to you, and we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. But for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us at email@thebdep.org, and you can also reach out to the professional organisations on the screen. Next week, we welcome back Dr. Jonathan Page to lead us in a gentle restorative meditation. So perfect for the end of the year. Please do join us next week. So we're not stopping the Sunday check-in sessions all through December, January. So we'll be running a number of sessions every Sunday. So do remember to check in. Would like to thank the kind and wise mentors who are taking these sessions, and I'll send out these dates on the midweek email as well. On the 17th of December, the Humanistic Symposium will be held in Taiwan, and we encourage everyone to tune in then. So regular Sunday check-in won't be held on that date. And an invitation to you all in the community. So we're going to kick off from February 2024, sessions inspired by the wisdom of Venerable Master Hsing. So if you have a story, a piece of wisdom, or a quote that's inspired you and you'd like to share with the community and a group of friends here, we'd love to hear from you. And so please send us an email, and we're starting to organise those for next year. As we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to whoever is in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you, Venerable Juewei, for your guidance of priceless practice, not just today, but through every week in 2023. Thank you, Lai Qian, for being our IT master behind the scenes again today and through many weeks again. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. So now we'll have our usual plenary session. So please stay around if you have time. Otherwise, we'll see you all again next week at 11 a.m.